All right, and we're on. We're on. This is great.
Hey, what's up?
All right. I'm Charbel Milan. We're back on a timeshared live. We're with Shay Diggs.
What's up? How you doing? You doing all right?
I'm doing great,
All
man.
right.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I feel great. I'm really glad we were able to put this together.
Yeah.
So I just want to, just start off. If you just want to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey guys, name's Shay Diggs. I am the co-owner of Buford Fit Body out here in Buford, Georgia. We are a fitness boot camp, and that's pretty much it.
Sweet. So for everyone who's watching, people are coming here to be inspired. They're coming here to see that it doesn't take some crazy level of imagination or just really anything to succeed. It just takes believing in yourself like you have and just getting out there. And I think it's very interesting. I honestly wanted to start off by just sharing how we even came about meeting. You know what I mean? So if you want to share your side of that.
Yeah, as a business owner, I think it's good to kind of sometimes get outside of your four walls, and then you can work on your business at a Starbucks or anywhere and just kind of zone out and get work done. And that's actually what I was doing. I was at a Starbucks and, I just getting work done, and I came across you and your family, and I think it was your birthday.
Was my birthday.
It was your birthday, and then
past birthday.
you guys were nice enough to offer me a cake because you were all set up around me, and that's really just a chance occurrence, just working and then meeting people basically.
I knew we were going to stay in touch. I really did. And the best part is that I really anticipated this conversation. Like, minus the mics, minus the camera, I really just anticipated getting to know you and just seeing what's going on here at Buford and at your fitness gym. Yeah. So, I mean, just from a general sense, like, what led you up into your life to get into fitness? Like, what inspired you personally to take your own route opposed to just following the standard route that a lot of people, end up taking due to society norms?
Yeah. So, basically what happened was growing up all through high school and middle school, I was pretty much 148 pounds. Like, couldn't gain weight to save my life. I was that string bean skinny guy.
That's me right now.
So, it just was one of those things. Never really thought about weight training or anything like that. Played ball a lot of times, but really when it came down to it, when I was at college at UGA, I had a buddy of mine who introduced me to the gym out there. He basically like, you're not doing anything, come out with with me to the gym, and we worked out. I got my butt kicked, but I was inspired. I was like, man, this is cool. Like, I can feel the work that I did, and that means I have a say over my fitness. And so from one thing led to another. I started working out for myself. Then I decided I wanted to also help other people have a say over their fitness as well. And so, regardless of genetics and stuff like that, you can still have a say, and that's what made me do that. Through one thing led to another, got into the gyms, worked at Bally's, LA Fitness, and then actually started my own boot camp as well. That came from me basically going out on my own, training in neighborhoods, and then leading up to the parks, then eventually partnering up and opening up this location to then buying out partners and then owning out right with my brother and my father. So,
so you own this with your brother?
Yeah, my brother's the trainer. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so he's a trainer.
Yeah, he's a trainer also.
Are you a trainer also?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so owner and trainer.
Yeah.
So UGA, how did UGA happen?
Well, come from parents, family that basically emphasize you're a student first and the athlete second. So they really emphasized school, and I was lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to get in, and eventually ended up with that diploma. And so that's pretty much it. I got lucky. Took the advantage of the opportunity. Had some bumps in the road, but then got refocused and worked hard and earned that diploma.
Man, I applied to UGA. I did not get in, but
same thing with my brother, and he's smarter than me, so I just got lucky.
Got lucky?
Yeah.
I like going there. Don't get me wrong. I like their little strip setup. The bars are nice. Why not? But the school, I don't know.
Different beast.
They just got their own world out there. I got friends that go out there, and it's just especially on game days. Oh my God.
Game days is a serious thing. You don't mess around with game days.
Okay, so you were at UGA and you met this friend. So who exactly is this guy?
His name was Ryan.
Ryan.
And so we've lost touch since then. But that first semester, he was like, "Hey man, let's go." And so Ryan took me out to the Ramsey Center, which is the gym that they have on campus out there. And it was just a whole bunch of big dudes working out, and I was in here looking like, oh my goodness, and basically got in there. And they were like, "You're kind of strong for your size," and so they just kept on giving me more weight, pushing me. I was super sore the next day, and but I kind of liked it. I was just like, you know what, I'm hooked.
That's crazy. It's like an addiction almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. See, for me, I used to do a lot of boxing back in the day. my coach, he ended up getting like shot when he went to go see his mom in Pittsburgh because she ended up passing. He was coming out of a grocery store, and there was just a group of like younger gentlemen outside. Drive-by occurred. It was like a 22. It's a really small bullet. It got lodged right. I think it's called. Which one is this? It's not the femur. It's the bigger bone in your hip, or not the hip.
Yeah, it had to be in the hip.
It got lodged in there, and they were telling him if we want to remove it, you're either gonna risk shattering 4 inches of your whatever that bone's called, or we just gotta leave it in there, and you're occasionally gonna have to deal with the pain if you slip it or whatnot.
Yeah.
So the boxing was going good, but he ended up slipping it just in the gym. And he really pushed on it for another like year and a half. I'm not gonna lie, but everything went downhill. Everyone started kind of like leaving the gym.
Yeah.
And it was around the same time I was going off to school, so I didn't get to really continue like my fitness journey.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean by like once you get in there and you realize how much you're lacking, you're like, man, I really need to get in here and I really need to just start to grow. That's crazy. Yeah. Because for me, I feel like in life, right? I feel like if you want to grow and you want to get to like certain levels, it all starts within yourself. Yeah. Because for the longest time, I would always look to other people and other people doing things and other people that have things going on. What's going on? It's just, it should just still be recording. Yeah, I got you. Just pass me a phone. Or no, just pass me your phone. I'll type it in. Should be good. But yeah, I just always was looking towards like an external source, right? And I was always looking like to go to a gym, to be inspired. And I feel like those are great, like, how do I explain it? Those are great. Here you go. Let me get this for you. All right. All lowercase, by the way. So I was always looking to be inspired. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's what this channel is all about. But I wasn't doing my part, Right. I was looking at somebody else to get me there, and that was in many aspects. It wasn't just going to the gym, right. And it wasn't until like I had a revelation in my own life, right? Just coming to terms with the fact that no one's gonna do anything for you in this world, right? Like you really got to get up and realize that someone else achieved something because they believed in themselves, They acquired some sort of level of confidence, and they just went out there and tried, and it worked out. And ever since I've started doing that with my life, everything's been great, And I just think that correlates really well with going to the gym. So that's
I think exactly what you're saying is kind of belief in yourself translating through hard work and dedication. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you won't have the energy and drive to do what you're doing. And if you do believe in yourself, you'll show it in the way that you're acting every day. Not giving up on your dreams, whether it's hard work or not hard work. And I think a lot of the people nowadays, they look to somebody else to do it for them, like you said. And until you have that fire to do it for yourself, I don't think you'll ever have the satisfaction of what it feels like to actually earn and make something of yourself. And I think that's a lot of what it means to be an entrepreneur. And I think a human being, a lot of people who are successful in anything, whether they just be successful at their job that they're doing, is because they believe that they are actually either making a difference, they believe that they are going to get after it, and they show it every day, day in and day out. And I think that's really what makes the difference between somebody like myself, or somebody like you, or anybody out there who's really looking forward to. You gotta go ahead and get it. You gotta go ahead and get it. And if you really do believe that you are worth it, you will show in and day out, wake up day in, day out to get after it because your belief is that strong. And you, like you said, it has to come in from within. I mean, it can't. You can have motivation and say, you know what, I see that person doing it over there. I'm capable of doing that as well. That's where the belief comes in. So I'm glad that you saw that, and I think it's something that's lost on a lot of younger kids. So.
It is. It's almost like that's all right. So for example, a lot of people, they look to other people above them, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, to even define someone being above you, that's its own thing. But they just look to people who they take are successful, and they think that, all right, if I follow this same path that somebody else is doing, I can get there too. But I feel like what a lot of people aren't realizing is nobody has the same path. No, nobody can have the same path. No. And even if you do, you're just not going to reach the same level of I feel like, I don't know, just happiness in a sense, Right. Because I tried to do that a lot myself. I really did. I'll be honest. I felt like, if I could master someone else's plan, I could do it too. But it never happened.
You said it right. Like, you trying to copy somebody else's game plan is literally that you're copying somebody else's game plan. So it's just you regurgitating information, you doing this 6 plan step, whatever. There's no investment of you, essence of you in that game plan. So that's right. When you, let's say you do get there, let's say that game plan is perfect. That X factor of feeling something special because you did it, you earned it, you worked that thing is different from I was just following 10 steps to get rich, so that's why you have some people who, when they actually earn something, like you have some people who are community theater actors who feel fulfilled, and you have some people that are on Broadway who don't feel fulfilled because
and they're making a bunch of money.
And
that's what people think.
Exactly. So yeah, if you can have, because we're individuals, because we're each different people, you can go through the same things in life and come out completely different, just because you are a unique person. And until you understand and invest you into that equation, rather than just being passive or just being along for the ride, it will never have that fulfillment of I've achieved something, I'm proud of this, I'm investing my sweats in this. So yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. If you don't mind me asking, what do you got on the wrist? That looks pretty cool.
Oh, right here. Okay, so this is a WOOP, WHOOP. It is supposed to basically measure. A lot of athletes kind of use it to see their recovery and how hard they're working, and it kind of helps them more in-depth fine-tune their fitness. So like, let's say you did a hard workout on Monday and you got adequate sleep. It will tell you percentage of workout.
Tells you your sleep?
Yeah, it does your sleep and all that kind of stuff. It's made by some smart guys. And actually, this, if you look them up, this is a cool story too, how they basically decided they wanted to go ahead and they put in a lot of money and a lot of effort into it. And it's a monthly
like no
subscription.
display.
You can use it on your phone.
So it's all on the phone?
On your phone, all
Damn.
on the app. It will show you kind of like your sleep patterns and stuff like that. And so, actually mine's dead right now. I need to go charge it. But it will measure heart rate and all that kind of thing. So let's say I worked out really crazy hard. I didn't get enough sleep. It would show me a percentage, like it say you are at your 56% max capacity. You might want to take a workout that's no more than this amount of strain. So it will keep you in line, because there are athletes that overtrain, and there's some people who don't quite train hard enough, and tweaking it. It's really key. It's cool.
I feel like people don't understand how important sleep is, because I didn't understand it for the longest until I was listening to a lot of other podcasts, a lot of more popular podcasts, and I was just learning a lot more about like the importance of sleep. I didn't really ever come to the conclusion that, maybe a lot of my anxiety, maybe a lot of my, what's the word? It's not depression. It's, when you feel like a loss of like motivation, like not even a loss of motivation, but just, you're just like, man, I'm just not feeling it, and that kind of carries out for a couple days, and like, am I just not inspired to do that like I was? And then once you start sleeping a lot more, it's life changing. It really is. So it's really interesting you said that.
Yeah, it's even bigger than sleep is all falling on, because sleep is falling under recovery. If you can master recovery, because some people, just because of your lifestyle, they're not able to quite get that much sleep. But if you're doing recovery on whether it be foam rolling, whether it be, taking that time out to go to, one of those dunk tanks or chambers where you kind of just detoxify your body and give your body some form of rest, it will help you focus mentally. It will help you focus. It will help you recharge, because a lot of what we feel is stress, levels manifesting in some way, shape, or form. So if you have issues with your knees, you have headaches randomly, that's your body trying to figure out where to release this buildup of toxins and stuff that have been manifesting in your body. You're worried, you start producing more. But if you're recovering, your body's ability to balance out and be resilient against stress increases. So you're more, I guess, durable, and then that way you're able to focus and grind through the day and do things that you need to. So yeah, recovery, sleep, all super important.
That's crazy. That honestly does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I feel like you were speaking directly towards me, because I literally feel that way.
Listen, I had it's funny that everybody talks about you learn things at different stages. Literally, I want to say about 4 months ago, I was just working, just going. I was dealing a lot of things, personal things, and just ideas as an entrepreneur. You kind of like, well, what's the next level? What's the next level? So there's those who don't work hard enough, and then those who are overworking and think that they're doing something extra, whereas you need to find that balance. And I was more on the side of overworking, not getting enough sleep, stewing on things, not, just not letting my body rest. And my body crashed. I got like really sick. It was like a 24-hour just aches and, and then all the workout stress that I put on my body manifested actually in my one arm. And so I was like having issues with my arm. It wasn't working. They were saying,
I would have thought I was going to have a heart attack or something.
Yeah. So, it was one of those where your body literally tells you stop. So I've been really key on focusing on recovery. You only have one body. You try to keep it as much as possible. We think when we're younger, oh, we're invincible. Heavy lifting that I've done back in the day, sometimes I feel the aches and bruises of that now. So yeah, recovery is key. And I was neglecting. I was telling everybody else, you need to rest, but I wasn't doing it for myself.
Okay.
So I wasn't finding that work-life balance, and that it showed up in me.
I feel like so many people have that problem, man.
Yeah.
When, like especially myself, where I know information, I know what I need to be doing, and I'm preaching it on people.
Yeah.
And then I sit down, I'm alone with myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to take my own advice. I really need to take my own advice, because it's weird that you say that. I don't know. It's just really weird, because especially with a lot of the stuff I try to preach on the channel, just about staying positive, staying motivated, and just getting out there. I didn't just, I didn't just hear that and say, oh yeah, that's great, let me go repeat that. I kind of came to those conclusions when I was trying a bunch of different routes. And I don't care to go into detail really, but things weren't working out. Whether it was like relationships with people, whether it was certain financial aspects, educational aspects, or just any obstacle you're taking on in life. And it just really, I just feel like when you get real with yourself, and you're like, what am I doing? What am I really trying to do here? Everyone goes home at the end of the night. They sleep alone. They think alone. And I mean, at the end of the day, you really are alone. All you have is yourself. And I just feel like if you don't take care of that like you said, that your vessel, your chamber. I don't know. It's really weird, because I feel like nowadays we're all pushing. We're all like hyped up. We gotta go. I gotta get there. I gotta go to school. I gotta get a job, or I don't go to school, or I just get a job, or I gotta get a promotion. Oh, I gotta talk to this girl. I gotta talk to that. And I just feel like people aren't slowing down and realizing, A, how far they've come, B, what they want to do, and C, how they can fix some problems they're having. It's like, for example, right? They want to give you go to a doctor, and they tell you, oh yeah, you got this wrong with you. Here's some medication. And then, you know what? Here's some medication to counteract that medication. Right. And here's something to drink, because you're not going to be able to sleep from the second And you're just like, wait a minute. And I feel like on a way smaller level, like that happens in people's lives. Like, I'll use myself as an example. I was trying to eat better. I was trying to, I was really trying to just meditate, just small sessions during the day. I was trying all types of things to really work on my anxiety. And I was like, you know what? A couple things I need to do is A, get more sleep, like we said, and B, just really sit down with myself, come to terms with the things that are bothering you, and just kind of put them in the past. Just really put them in the past to move on. Like, have you had any moments like that? Things that held you back just from getting to where you are?
Yeah, well, for a lot of people, I think, when it comes down to it, that moment of realization and being able to deal with issues can be dealt with in various forms. For some people like yourself, it can be just as simple as sitting down and taking that break and just meditating, and you can get through it. Some people, they pray, like, I pray, and a lot of times that will, in those moments, you get some moments of clarity, but ultimately it does require, regardless.
Pull the mic up just a little bit.
Sure.
To be safe. Keep going.
Ultimately, I think that regardless what route, it does require you to start with that process of, where am I at? What am I doing? And where's the next step for me? What is it? What are the things that I'm happy with? What are the things that I am happy with? But what is my ultimate goal on this earth? What is my ultimate goal in this moment that I'm here? And that will help you kind of figure out the path. So yeah, I had that moment. You'll have those moments. You should have those moments, in my opinion, several times throughout your life where, I call it pivoting. Basically you're going down one path, what your goal is, and you're trying to take this route to get to this path. And, maybe the end destination changes and you pivot with it, or how you're going to get.
I like that.
Or how you're going to get to it. You kind of, just pivot a little bit, and then you go back to that goal. And so, like for me, fitness has always been a very important part of the fitness journey. I would say pivot would be from being in the gym, working for LA Fitness or Bally's or whoever, and then pivoting and doing my own thing. Then pivoting again and getting into a franchise. Then pivoting again, getting partners, pivoting again, switching partners. Ultimately, the goal is to still be an entrepreneur and own a business. And so, yeah, of course, you have those. You have those in anything, personal relationships, personal well-being, financial. What your goal might be to save for or to pursue, and say, hey, this is what my goal is, to maybe own a boat or whatever. You might change that as you grow older and you realize what is important to you in your life. But that requires growth. And one thing you said about a lot of people, they're moving so fast. We've become a society of instant gratification. So the faster you get it, the faster you get it, the better.
Yes.
And I think that one of the things that we're negating by doing that is hard work, endurance, patience, that grit that you need to have to endure. We don't want to endure, so that's why we're not coming up with something that's fulfilling. Then we get to the end maybe by quick means, and it doesn't satisfy us. We're looking for the next fix. But if you earned it, you grind through it, you really sweat and tears and blood all through it, when you get it, you're like, I know what I came through, and it's fulfilling. And that requires pivoting.
And it means more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It means a lot more. That's
absolutely. So, yeah.
Damn.
Everybody should have that experience. And if you're really trying to make sure that you're focusing on your life and focusing on just not being here, you got too many people. Every day is an opportunity to go out with friends, fine, but there's got to be more. You can't just be always hanging out with people. And what am I here for, more than just to take up space? And that requires self-reflection, I think.
Discipline. How do you feel about discipline? That's kind of we've almost been like
running
around that
that
idea.
Mean, I'll be real straight up with you. I think discipline is the key. Discipline is what separates a lot of people. Let's take, for example, you have some athletes who are just naturally talented. They're just gifted. They've been blessed with athletic abilities. Then you have those athletes that are not as gifted, but they are hard workers, and they have the discipline to grind through it. And a lot of those times, those are the people that show up in the the last quarter, the last seconds of the game, that you can rely on because they're so disciplined, they're hardworking. They actually almost sometimes outshine the talented people. You have people who are willing to be disciplined in school. While a lot of kids are making fun of them, they're sitting there sacrificing and neglecting the instant gratification. They become valedictorian, set themselves up for a better station in life, and then they move on. And that sacrifice and discipline is worth it because they're setting themselves up. College, personal endeavors, discipline is really a thing that, I'll say I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I lose discipline, but whenever I think to be more free in life, you have to be more disciplined.
Okay.
Because if you are more disciplined up front, it's almost like you're putting in that work so you can enjoy your life. And that structure allows you to have the freedom. But we want the freedom now, and that's when we end up doing all these other things, and we have no structure and discipline. And we're like, I've been putting my pot in this, putting my pot in that, with no end goal and structure and game plan in sight, and I just am stretched thin. So
you're like, what's going on here? Why isn't this working?
I'm working so much, but your work is not focused.
Okay.
And like I said, everybody goes through that. And the problem is, too many people don't realize that's what's happening. They don't adapt or change or focus on what is going on. They just say, oh, that didn't work. Next big quick thing. So, discipline is what we try to tell our members, and we talk about grit too, that endurance, that perseverance, because we believe in a workout. If you can grit through a workout, that mentality of pushing through adversity translates to everything. Translates to your job. It translates to dealing with family members, being able to endure, because the world's only going to get more, difficult, and things are going to get harder to buy, and things are going to get harder, more exclusive. If you have grit and endurance, you will be the people that will succeed versus the people that are always like, what's the next thing you're going to give me? Why aren't you looking out for me? That kind of thing.
Why didn't I get that? Why is that person promoted?
You didn't earn it from discipline. You didn't earn it from hard work.
I agree, man.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're at UGA. All right. You're at UGA. You graduate. And you graduated in like a fitness degree, I'm guessing?
No, actually,
Wow.
believe it or not, and that's why you were talking about people going through different routes of their own to end up at a certain spot, and I really appreciate that because my major in UGA was actually theater, and it originally I started it.
That's why I used that example. It's awesome.
So I originally started as an art major, and then I wanted to do art and theater where we can combine some kind of animation, and I realized when I was in that program that I was like, working hard, and I was just not able to break through. Could I probably been more disciplined? Yeah, but there were a whole bunch of guys that were in that program that were light years ahead of me, and I said, you know what, I need to make sure that I'm going to set myself
How
up
does
for
that work?
So
what is like, because I know like everyone's like, I want to be an actor, but how does it actually work? How does the whole theater aspect work?
So, it's very there are multiple ways to go about it. If you're going to go through school, I would say that you put in your work to apply to a good school that would set you up for success if you truly want to do that. It depends what your goal is. Some people want to be career theater actors. Some people just want to be on TV. It's like, for example, me being a trainer. I didn't go to school for fitness, health, and I didn't go to school for that, but I still got a certification for that and studied and was exposed to that. So I went one route, just like you guys may be doing business, but you didn't go to school of business. Some of you maybe, I don't know if you did.
I currently am.
You currently am.
Unfortunately,
okay,
right?
So and then that's totally great. But there are going to be some guys that you'll meet when you go forward that
had nothing
like that, but they worked and you guys are at the same meeting space. So for theater, you basically, you learn how to do auditions. You basically hone your vessel, your skill set to be able to portray different people, different characters with different motivations. And you just learn and study on that so that way you can perform that craft well. Then if you want to audition, you submit your roles, your tapes, your things like that. You go to repeated auditions a lot of times, and a lot of times you'll get no's. That's where
so you gotta like re-audition for the same thing.
Well, you audition for maybe you not the same role, but you audition for different things. Like let's say there's an audition for a lead role in a movie, and there's an audition for a B role in a movie. The thing is, you have to get used to getting a lot of no's, because they're not.
That's something people do not like. That goes back to the instant gratification.
Yeah. So you do that.
No, this field's not for me, and then
exactly. So
okay.
You go to auditions, you go before directors, you maybe nail the audition, and they still don't want you. It's not necessarily that you stink if you're doing everything you're supposed to. It's just that wasn't a role for you. So a lot of times people will submit auditions, they may get an agent, they may do it on their own, and they're all trying to work towards landing that role that keeps them working, basically. So, I did that, kind of segue from the animation in theater to just straight up theater. But at the time, that was when I was getting real big into training as well. So I was doing training. I actually started working at Bally's while I was in school. So
you were working at the gym?
I was working at the gym. I was actually commuting back and forth. I was working at the gym while I was at school, and training became a passion, and that's what I was doing. So theater would allow me to do maybe stand-in work, because that's what I had time for, stand-in work at like a Tyler Perry Studios, or maybe a quick modeling gig, stuff like that. It's all about how much you want it too. Some people, they put in a lot more work than me. They're on TV right now, kids that I graduated with, or people that have graduated behind me. So it's all about the level of hard work that you're willing to put in, going to auditions, continue to learn your craft. So I knew that I didn't want to go ahead and move out to California, which a lot of people did.
That's usually like the thing. You go to LA.
Some people. You have some people that now, the cool thing about Atlanta being a hub that's very important now, a lot of the acting work, back when I graduated, a lot of the acting work was still in California and was just coming out to Atlanta. Now you have like Netflix, and you have Stranger Things, Walking Dead, all that stuff is filmed.
Gwinnett Place.
Yeah, all those things are filmed here.
That's
all
crazy,
those things
man.
are filmed here. So you have now Atlanta being the hub where people from Atlanta don't have to go out to California. So normally a lot of people go out to California or New York, or it depends on what they want. Some people for theater or Broadway, obviously New York. Some people now, they're here getting jobs in Atlanta, which is great. So it all depends, and each person is going to put in the amount of work that they want into it. If you don't want to be working that much, you're not going to put in that much work for auditions. So that's really how it is. It's your option. You can go either or now. There are a lot of options for people now.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, walking through Gwinnett Place with my family.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the malls, you know.
It's changed now.
There was Discover Mills, you know, not Discover Mills anymore.
Yeah.
There was Gwinnett Place, and then of course Mall Georgia, and then I remember Gwinnett Place just started dipping, dipping, and then I remember when I heard that they were going to be shooting there, I was like, okay, we'll see what goes on. And then I remember when I watched the episode, I was like, damn. I was like, I know exactly where
those stores
every
are.
single thing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you graduated. You had a theater degree.
I had a theater degree. Yeah.
Wow. So you had a theater degree.
Had a degree in drama.
Degree in drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That reminds me of like a part of from. Do you watch Rick and Morty by any chance?
My brothers do. They tell me about it all the time. I'm sure if I tell them about this, they'll be like, "Oh, that was from the episode and stuff like that."
There's one where the kid has like a drama implant.
Okay.
And it's just that's hilarious. They said that degree in drama, but he ends up killing himself.
Oh
but,
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Spoiler, but
yeah,
poor guy. But anyway, so you get a degree in drama, and then you didn't try to pursue it, or you just?
I did. No, I've done some things. Here's another thing: like you'll run into some people that they've done some things, and you never know that they did some stuff, and it's just not what they decided to pursue. They decided to pivot and change their direction. I got pretty good about going and doing some modeling and some theater and mainly modeling and acting and stand-in.
Stand-in?
Stand-in.
What
So
is
stand-in
like a
work,
stand-in?
basically stand-in work or extras work. So when you go on a set, extras work, the people in the background, so the people that are not the main actors that you watch on the show, that are just kind of walking, doing their own thing, having a coffee, you never know, but they're in the background. Those are extras. They're basically extras.
To them, that's like the moment of their life.
Well, yeah, some of them. So they're extras.
That's awesome.
So they're extra background, it's interchangeable. And then when you are stand-in, you stand in for the main actors. So there's some shots where you're like, if you really look at them, you're like, that doesn't look like the main actors. Maybe it's the back of their head.
Oh, you did a stand-in?
Yeah, stand-in.
Did you have any roles?
So basically, most of the time you won't have roles. It's, a lot of times it's to keep the main actor safe. Sometimes you'll do dangerous stuff. Sometimes it's just to give them a break. Sometimes it's they just want to get an angle and they know that the actor wasn't going to be in town. So there's a lot of reasons why you use a stand. Like The Rock has a stand-in.
I didn't even know
like
this was a thing.
Yeah.
Stand-in.
So a stand-in, is like not quite a stunt double, but they will double for the actor. They will stand in for the actor when maybe the actor's not there or there's a shot. So there was a Tyler Perry movie, I can't remember which one, he's done so many right now, where basically I think it was a stand-in for Derek Luke, and there was a scene where he's in the rain and he's driving the brand new Tahoe because he's going after the girl that he really wants and everything like that. And so instead of him driving it, I was the one that was supposed to drive it. Or there's a shot where it looks like it's him talking, but it's really me, my back of my head. So somebody who's similar. But yeah, you see it all the time. A stand-in can be a stunt double or just a person that literally stands in for the actor. So did a couple things of that. Did some modeling for like small stuff. One of the things that is still around, a lot of the LA Fitnesses, if you look in a lot of the LA Fitnesses, my picture's on the wall right now.
Really?
For some of them, I'm the guy that's in the orange shirt riding a bike.
So you worked there, but you also modeled for their shoot?
I modeled for something, and then ironically, they were the ones that bought the rights to that picture through the photographer.
And you just so happened to be a trainer for them all the time?
Yeah, so like they didn't know it was me until the guys at the actual gym. But by that time, I would actually say I had quit the LA Fitness, working at LA Fitness. So it's actually all just kind of happened in that kind of sequence there. So yeah.
How did that come about?
Funny story. So I was trying to build my portfolio, which is what you do when you're trying to go into modeling and acting. You build up your portfolio, whether just get current stuff. So as you start to grow and change and your looks start to be different, you want to keep an updated portfolio. So I was working with this photographer and actually learning, you learn. I signed away the rights the first time to those photos.
What?
Because I just wanted, she was going
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so you didn't.
I didn't get anything from those.
What?
I didn't get any money from those.
That's
I got
how
some
they
stuff.
do
Yeah.
everybody, man.
Well, some people, and so She obviously submitted them to different gyms and stuff like that, and LA Fitness was the one that apparently, through one way or another, purchased those photos.
They're
And
like, we've seen this guy before. I
you
like
know,
this picture.
I don't even know, because I don't think it was because, you know, corporate. I'm sure that's a corporate decision, because it was like when they were updating to the new point whatever version of the gym, you start seeing more pictures popping, like, you know, La Vista, Buford, Sugarloaf has one up top in LA Fitnesses, and people were like texting me like, hey, is this you? You know, friends would text me like, yeah, this is me. Where'd you see that? Oh, this is in my gym. So I didn't get anything from that. The photographer did, but I learned that one, I had marketability, and I also learned, well, next time, no matter how good the photographer is, don't sell away the rights, because you never know, you might be helping them out too. So became very keen on making sure that you know your worth. So I learned from that, but through that, there were other smaller opportunities and things like that to model for. You know, you can make, like I said, it's all about how hard you want. I didn't go in every day super hardcore, but I did land, you know, like commercial shoots with Delta, you know, things for Coca-Cola, Home Depot, you know, small things that
Those
they
are
do.
pretty big
Yeah,
things,
but
man.
you know, you think about it, but they'll be gone, you know. So, yeah, so it's funny how some people, they do one thing and it catapults them. Some people, they do one thing and, you know, they just kind of stay at one level. It all depends. Each person's journey is different. And you know, one thing that's been consistent in my life was fitness. So the fitness had been consistent no matter what it was I was doing. Worked at Six Flags, no matter what it was I was doing. You know, whatever jobs I was doing, fitness was consistent, and eventually it led to being here with this. And you know, and I'm excited and happy that, you know, I have my brother as a partner, and, you know, it's really, we have a good group of people. You know, we gravitate towards a good group of members that are really passionate and supportive about our health and fitness journey that we're trying to bring to the community.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
My coach used to always say that. Like, I'd come out of a fight and I'd be like, man, I lost. And he'd be like, listen, son, you don't ever lose. You win or you learn. And I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I really
right.
I was like, wow.
He's right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you signed away the rights, and then you end up on the wall of the gym.
Yeah,
that you're training
for. That
for.
used to work for. Yeah,
that's close circle right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Of all the pictures they could have picked, that was it was an eye opener, and it was also a learning experience and a moment to pivot.
So you were like, all right, I've gotten out there. You know, I've done stuff with Coca-Cola, Home Depot. It's just not working out for me. You could have definitely done a stand-in for Michael B. Jordan. I'll tell you that.
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm a little bit older than him, but I gotta wait.
You got the size, man. You got the size. You might actually be a little too big.
I appreciate. Well, you know, that's another thing. You always have to deal with the politics of that too. So, you know, there's some people who look really small in person, they look perfect on TV. So you always have that. But yeah, you know, the thing is, the right opportunity at the right time sometimes doesn't come up. Who knows? Maybe you're doing what you're supposed to. The thing is, if you're doing what you're supposed to, the opportunity may be there later on, and then you will jump on it if you're ready and you're prepared, whether it be investments, whether it be acting, whether it be whatever. You know, Michael B. Jordan ran into a great director, producer, and he linked up with them, and then from then on, his career skyrocketed. So who knows? Maybe I'll be 45. You know, you have the the main actor for Black Panther. He's been doing stuff for years, and now he's catapulted to where everybody knows him. So you have people that are going to go ahead, and maybe they're supposed to be at, you know, this echelon or whatever, and it takes them forever to get there, and you have some people that they've just, for whatever reason, they get right there. So, you know, I realized that I wanted to kind of make a living, and the idea of owning my own facility was more appealing to me, was becoming more appealing as I was driving back and forth on the road. And there was a good friend of mine, Rashid Phillips, who he was into photography and entrepreneur, and he was like, you know, I know where you started from. You can always keep on going and improve, and there are great things in your future, great things in your path. And, you know, he's like, you just need to take that leap. You just need to push forward. And so, you know, I believing in myself, also hard work, landed the opportunity, seized the opportunity, worked. Always in any business and anything, there are missteps. You learn, you pivot, and, you know, you continue to work on getting towards your end goal, and that's what ended up happening.
That's actually crazy. I'm at like 25% of that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm way closer than I think. I feel like I'm at 25% because, I'm still at that point in my life where I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've always realized is that I enjoy communicating with people. I enjoy getting to know people. And more importantly, I just enjoy learning. Like a lot of people have this mindset where they're like, all right, someone's doing better than them. So, we got, Shay opens a gym, right?
Yeah.
Why? Screw Shay. What do you mean he opened a gym? Why can't I open a gym?
Yeah.
But instead, like, I would show up and be like, yo, man, like, how'd you get this going? What would it take for me to get something like this going?
Mm-hmm.
Or, what's the back end work going on? And just to try to grow, just to try to take, not necessarily like the information, but like the inspiration, like the mindset. And I feel like that's what I've tried to do a lot of my life is I see something that's working for someone else and I want to learn from it. Right. I just love the philosophy of just being happy for people. Like, wow, like what's his name's doing XYZ, that's great. Or what's her name's doing XYZ. Wow, it's really good for her. Like, I'm happy for her. I used to know her back in. And I just feel like people don't think like that.
No, a lot of people don't think like that. The one thing that society has kind of inbred in us is competition, but the negative side of competition. And also we've gotten to the point where it's more advantageous or popular or cool to go ahead and talk about somebody versus talking about what you're good at. Because a lot of times what we don't realize and what we have a problem with is for some people, somebody else's success exposes what they're not doing or where they may lack. For example, somebody opens up a gym. You may have had the opportunity to open up a gym, but for whatever reason you weren't hungry enough or you didn't do the work. Them opening up the gym is kind of almost a self, chastisement. You're like, it almost shows where you haven't really stepped up your game to do what you could do because you're equally capable as them. So rather than you go ahead and say, man, I need to step up my game, I need to be worried about me being the best that I can be, you downplay the other person, you talk bad about the other person, you talk about their business to minimize or to tarnish them so that you can go ahead and be raised, rather than you being raised by your own accolades without talking about them, and also recognizing that there's technically enough for everybody if you're working
really
hard.
Is.
And one thing I like about what you just said was that, rather than trying to learn to go ahead and sabotage, you're trying to learn to grow. And then also you have this other side of the coin, which is you also like seeing other people grow. And I'll bring it back to my friend Rashid. He actually started out as a trainer with me in LA Fitness, and he went through some things too, and he ended up getting into photography, and now he's into the food industry, and he's just killing it. One thing that I know about Rashid is, which is similar to you, he always likes to see other people grow. So there's some guys that are in the same food industry with him and in the actual same niche, and they will ask him and he will help them grow, and he likes helping them be successful. And, he may get burned by that, but his center, his sense of I'm doing right, I'm doing good, well by people is always going to be intact. I've had times where I've helped out other people or helped out other, would-be business owners, and once they got their footing, they decided they didn't need me anymore, which is human nature. Or they say, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this because you've taught me what I need to know, so that's just going to be part of the journey, but at the same time, you learn from it and you're doing right. You will always be grounded in the kind of the satisfaction of, I did right by this person. So yeah, that's lost on the society, but it doesn't make it wrong.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I want to really change the world, all right? And my idea of the world could be just me and you.
Yeah.
It could be 20 people. Yeah. It could be nobody. We could be in here talking to ourselves. Yeah. I don't care, because I feel like to change or to do anything, it starts with yourself. Yep. Everyone wants to be like, hey man, you should put your water on that side, or you should start going to the gym and working out this way. Well, why don't you work on yourself? And I feel like if I work on myself, if I change myself, if I aspire to be the best version of myself that I can be, I'm radiating,
Yeah, no.
And if there's 2 people, if I'm alone, if there's a million people, who cares? I want to really just inspire other people to realize that they have all they need. Mm-hmm. It's just like you were saying, it's just being happy for other people. Yeah. It is a competition, but at the same time, it doesn't matter.
We can
It's
all
just
succeed
exactly.
on
It's
the
just about
journey.
getting there.
Yeah. No, and you know one thing that and you said something about that brings back to kind of what is our theory and our philosophy here at the gym. We really emphasize fitness, grit, and community. What you're talking about is really about the community. If you are trying to be the best that you can be, and worry about yourself, you'll automatically meet other people who are also doing the same thing. And it won't be a tension between you and those people. You see those power couples or those power groups of people are like, oh, he owns this business. They're all trying to be the best that they can be. And then they also gravitated and radiated out that same energy to other people who are doing it. And that's why they're friends. That's why they worked well together. And so what we try to do in our gym, with anything human nature, and that's human, it's not going to be perfect. But if you have the intention of being the best that you can be, like-minded individuals will surround you, and that's what we really emphasize, the community aspect here. We have a lot of people from different walks of life. We have people who have different backgrounds. We have people who have different kinds of jobs. The one cool thing that they all can agree on is that everybody's trying to get on their fitness journey and get on their fitness work, because they are all trying to be the best version of themselves. As long as you try to be the best version of yourself, whether it be in the gym during a workout, it will translate to other areas. And the people who cannot stand that because they have their own issues that they're not addressing will always talk bad about you, will always be angry with what you're doing. And it's not to say that you won't make mistakes. See, people think being the best version of yourself doesn't mean that you will not learn. Because we're imperfect beings, we're human, we will make mistakes. We will learn as we grow. The thing is, those people who are trying to always be the best and are not going to be victims of their circumstance will always rise out of their situations to continue and move forward.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I feel like that's what it's all about. I really do. What's going on? Right? Isn't that crazy? That's
well, it took me a while to learn this, guys. So, I'm not sitting here like I have this profound knowledge, but it just, like I said, you said something earlier, which was you have to sit down and reflect. I have to sit down and reflect from time to time, reflect about things that I'm unhappy with, reflect about things that, I would like to change. And do I have the power to change it and change it? Do I have the power to at least know that it's going on and deal with it? Deal with it. For me, like I said, when it's out of my power, out of my, I always pray about it because there's something bigger than me, someone bigger than me.
Something higher up.
Yeah. So that's
whatever a person believes.
Well, yeah. So, for me, that's always helped me. And my brother's the same way. So that way, that you're really doing reevaluations, self-diagnostic. With a car, you have to check on what's going on. Hey, this light came on. What's going on? Or it's wobbling. What's going on? Or when I crank it, it's doing a little funny something. What's going on? You're always having to, every so often check what's going on. And then something new comes out in a car, you're like, hey, I want the car plate now. So you put that in there, so it's always about modifying and growing and changing, and self-evaluation is very, very key. And then once you know what's going on, rather than playing the victim, focus on how do I become the best version of myself. I think too many times it's steps. We have people that don't self-reflect. Then we have people who do self-reflect, but they don't come to the correct conclusion because they're not addressing them. They're talking about everybody else being the problem. But those people are refusing to try and be the best version of themselves. Then you have the people who do try to be the best version of themselves, and then it requires discipline and so on and so forth. And it's a chain that kind of builds up on each other. Keep on knocking your stuff. But it's a chain. It's a chain. So, yeah, it's going to continue to take me a while to grow. I'm always growing. You should always be growing. And it's going to take everybody those moments.
And you need that because you're leading a gym. Like, this is a boot camp, so
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? It's centered around like programs.
Oh yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff do you guys do?
So
I know you're probably up here killing it, man.
Well, we try. We try to bring a good product. We believe that anything that you do, you need to do with good intensity, and so we try to make sure that with our HIIT training, that's high intensity, intensity interval training, we really focus on making sure that it's a dynamic workout. It's not quite CrossFit, because CrossFit, they definitely lift heavier than we lift, but we focus around a lot of, your own body movements. We have some of the similar stuff where we do like TRX bands, the assault bikes, like with TRX bands we got in the background there.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Flipping tires. We have the rowers. We have dumbbells. So we'll be working with ropes a lot of times.
Kettlebells.
Yeah,
I saw those.
You saw the
man.
kettlebells.
Oh.
So we have a lot of similar equipment, but the setup is going to be based off of, for us, is based off of 30-minute workout time. So if you can go ahead and get good, intense workout for a short amount of time, there's actually studies that have shown that it actually will produce an afterburn to give you optimal results later on. So that's what we focus on.
Kill yourself in 30 minutes
Work
versus
hard for 30 minutes,
stretching it out
for an hour and a half.
2 hours.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that, especially for people who are really tight on time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bet you get a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. And that's predominantly our clients. As I said, we're getting busier. It's becoming more competitive. You don't have that much time. So a lot of people who have kids, they're trying to be invested more in their kids' practices, taking them from point A to point B. And you don't have that time. You don't have an hour and a half anymore. And that's what a lot of trainers are finding out, that is the way to go. The shorter times of intense training is the way to go, and it's producing better results.
That's crazy. So is it like one program, or is it like, do you guys have like a women's program, or like?
You know what? It's one program. It's an overall program. We don't discriminate. It's an overall program.
Of course not,
yeah, it's an overall program, and we just basically scale up the weight or scale down the weight. So
depending on the individual.
Depending on the individual's needs, their health history, or maybe for whatever reason they're having like a little issue. We always modify up, modify down, to make sure that it's always challenging. Like, for example, if I tell you, hey, you have 1 minute to knock out as many push-ups as you can, you may knock out 50, the person next to you may knock out 20, another person may knock out 80, but you're all working to your best optimal capacity.
100%.
Exactly.
And then you push that.
Exactly. And let's say you're getting to the point where 80 is nothing, and we're in a minute, I go ahead and add a weight on, a plate on your back, and say that's your new starting point. Still 1 minute, knock it out, and so you can always scale down and up as well. Like, as I say, Mrs. Jones comes in, and she's just been going through some aches and pains, and for some reason she can't do the full push-up she used to. Was going to do it from your knees, making sure that your back is straight and aligned. So there's always a scale up, a scale down, and it's time intervals. So we'll say you'll be at one station for X amount of time, rotate, and then
that's how we used to do it at the boxing gym. Yeah, just bing, 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 you move on to the next one. That's crazy. I really do like the setup here. I really do. I really do. Yeah. But what's the time looking like? We are at the 50 mark. 50 mark? Yeah. It's about perfect. Okay. So if you just want to go ahead and shout out the location.
So our location, my brother, Coach T, and myself. Okay. Yeah. So guys, we are over here at Buford Fit Body. That's 3280 Hamilton Mill, Suite 306 in Buford, Georgia. Zip code is 30519. We are open 6 days a week. I have a lot of sessions. I think we have about 60 sessions a week that you can attend, 30-minute sessions. And you get in, you get out. We got nutrition plans, all that kind of stuff. We are just your one-stop shop for health and nutrition. Come and see us.
Well, I'm Charbel Milan, and
Shay Diggs.
This has been a Time Shared Live. We will continue. We will succeed, and every single person that tunes in will be positively reinforced in the fact that they can do it. At the end of the day, all you have is yourself, man, and you know what? That's the best thing that we can have.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
it's been great, man.
Yeah,
Thank
likewise.
you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, that was awesome.
I hope that was good.